Hello everyone, this is CRH Films, and this is the 5th episode of The Last of Us series. The smuggler and the immune girl find allies during their journey across the country infested with zombies and marauders. The episode begins with fireworks piercing the night sky, celebrating the overthrow of Fedra's rule in one of the few cities where life still somehow thrives. Fedra, the Federal Emergency and Disaster Response Agency, replaced the government and, with its not-so-humane methods, struggles for the survival of humanity. The celebration takes place throughout the city, and satisfied rebels eliminate Fedra informants and soldiers using all possible means. Rebels, through loudspeakers, invite hidden agents to surrender, assuring them that nothing illegal will be done to them. Some who miraculously preserve their lives are locked up. Kathleen, the leader of the rebels, approaches the Fedra informants. She extracts information about someone named Henry from them. He betrayed her brother, Michael, to the agents, for some reason cooling him down to room temperature. She is interested in where exactly Henry is hiding. One of the detainees says that Henry wanted to meet the doctor but doesn't know the time or place of the meeting. Although the information is not very useful, Kathleen is now convinced that Henry is still in the city. She orders a quick disposal of the Fedra informants and begins the search for the traitor. Meanwhile, Henry and his deaf younger brother Sam discreetly make their way to the meeting point, where a doctor awaits them. This cozy place was once arranged by one of the soldiers, as he owed a debt to the doctor. To lift the spirits of his frightened brother, Henry gives Sam a packet of multicolored pencils. He asks his brother to color the temporary shelter, thinking it will help him forget the horror Sam witnessed in the past few days. 10 days pass. During this time, almost all the food supplies have run out, leaving only the last can of preserves. As a growing organism always craves food, Sam asks Henry for the last portion of provisions. Henry asks him to wait a little, the old man will come soon with food. But he is still absent. Henry realizes that the doctor was captured and most likely killed. Since the food has run out for good, Henry decides to leave the city. As they descend to the first floor, they hear the sounds of gunfire. Peaceful rebels set up an ambush for Joel and Ellie, the result of which we already know. Henry observes what is happening and comes up with a new plan. Together with his brother, they silently follow Joel and Ellie, circumventing the trap made of broken glass by Joel just in case. Waking up, the duo discovers pistols next to their heads. Henry suggests that they can help each other. To foster a peaceful atmosphere for discussion, Henry lowers his weapon. Regaining their senses after such an unusual awakening, the main characters start replenishing their calories at night. Joel shares the last food supplies with Sam. Henry proposes a relatively safe way for the smuggler to leave the city. In the morning, standing by the window, Henry tells Joel about the tough life in the city. For 20 consecutive years, Fedra had been mocking the local population until they rebelled at the first opportunity. He also adds that he is the most wanted person in the city because he betrayed Michael to the military. Michael was the leader of the rebellion and, incidentally, Kathleen's brother. To justify himself, Henry says that he has never killed anyone, so he needs Joel to deal with unfriendly individuals. Additionally, he mentions that the pistols they threatened each other with at night were not even loaded. Henry explains the plan. They need to descend into the service tunnels that lead beyond the city limits. He justifies the safety of this route by explaining that Fedra sent all the infected there immediately after the pandemic began. However, a couple of years ago, the military completely cleared the area of any threats. No one in the city knows about it, and those who knew are no longer among the living. Armed with flashlights, the foursome heads to the nearest tunnel entrance. Meeting no one on the way, they safely enter the tunnel. Seeing an absolutely empty corridor, Henry is satisfied that he was right. But Joel, based on life experience, advises not to rejoice prematurely. Walking through the narrow tunnel, the main characters encounter a door completely colored with crayons. Behind the door is a cozy shelter resembling a kindergarten. Ellie, who has become friends with Sam in just one day and has not seen toys for a long time, wants to have some fun. In the meantime, Henry suggests waiting until sunset, as it will be easier to go unnoticed at night. Sam and Ellie start exploring all the toys that are no longer needed, playing with a miraculously preserved ball for 20 years. While the children are busy with toys, a difficult conversation ensues between the adults. Henry tells how he betrayed a man who, in his opinion, was the bravest and kindest person on earth. To save his brother Sam from a deadly disease, Henry betrayed Michael to the military in exchange for medicine. Fedra tortured the man to death. When the rebels overthrew the dictators, Kathleen wished to avenge her brother. Meanwhile, Kathleen, with tears in her eyes, stands in the middle of her children's room. She recalls the wonderful times when she was still a child and how good it was to be with her brother. One of her assistants reports that neither Henry nor the attackers have been found yet. Kathleen recalls that when her brother was in federal prison, he asked her to forgive Henry because he did it for the sake of his younger brother. But Kathleen wants revenge, as children always died, and Sam is not so special that Michael should die for him. At night, the foursome exits the tunnel and walks through the suburbs, encountering neither zombies nor survivors. Satisfied that everything went as planned, Henry praises himself. Ellie suggests that Henry and Sam join their journey to Wyoming, to which Joel reacts not too positively. But Ellie assures that she can negotiate with him. Suddenly, the silence of the night is pierced by the sound of a gunshot. Joel, noticing where the sniper is sitting, decides to flank him, instructing the rest to stay put. Approaching unnoticed to the house, Joel sneaks upstairs. There sits an old man with a hunting rifle. Joel asks the pensioner not to be foolish, but the old man chooses a different path, and another shot, this time from a pistol, pierces the night. Joel finds reason as Kathleen asks the old man to hold on for a few minutes. They are already on their way. The smuggler shouts with all his might to run, but the trio sees the headlights in the darkness and starts running right in the middle of the road. An armored vehicle clears the way from rusty metal debris for its friends. Joel, in the meantime, struggles to hit the driver, but each shot misses its target. Ellie runs directly in front of the truck and even tries to shoot back. However, running and constantly looking back is not the best idea, causing Ellie to fall. The truck rushes straight toward her. In the best traditions of cinema, Joel shoots in the nick of time and finally hits the driver. Despite the fact that the driver is slightly dead, the car changes its trajectory. Fuel leaks from the punctured gas tank, causing the car to explode. The rest of the rebels approach through the smoke and fire. Due to the overwhelming numerical advantage of the enemies, Joel cannot shoot. Kathleen, standing in the middle of the street, shouts for Henry to surrender. He agrees, but on the condition that she lets the children go. Kathleen refuses. Henry asks Ellie to save Sam while he diverts the attention of the rebels to himself. He comes out with raised hands to meet death. Kathleen immediately cocks the gun and is ready to dispense justice. Suddenly, a truck enveloped in flames collapses underground. Hundreds of infected crawl out of the hole in the ground. The rebels begin to shoot the infected. Taking advantage of the chaos, Henry takes the children and starts running. Meanwhile, Joel shoots the infected that threaten them. Ellie hides in one of the cars, briefly finding relative safety. But a zombie climbing through the window forces Ellie to escape again. She notices Henry and Sam under the car, fending off the infected. She runs to them and, with a knife, neutralizes the danger. Meanwhile, a previously unseen bloater emerges from underground. It attacks Kathleen's assistant, who covers the leader's retreat. Kathleen catches up with Henry. But again, at the last moment, they find themselves saved. One of the zombies jumps on the woman and kills her, allowing the main characters to escape. The quartet decides to take a break at a motel. Contemplating their next plan of action, Joel suggests that Henry join them. He agrees. In another room, Ellie and Sam read comics. Sam asks Ellie what she fears the most. With each new question, the discussion gains momentum. Sam admits that he is infected and shows a bite mark. Ellie shows him her old bites and says she is immune. She cuts her arm with a knife to drip her blood onto the boy's wound. He asks not to leave him, and Ellie promises that she will stay with him until the end. Waking up, Ellie sees Sam stiffening in the window. She puts her hand on his shoulder. But when Sam turns his head, Ellie sees that the cordyceps has already taken over his body. The boy lunges at her, causing Ellie to fly into the next room and wake up the adults. Joel reaches for his gun, but Frank was faster. With despair in his eyes, he looks at his brother and realizes that there is no other way out. Joel asks for the gun, but Frank understands that he has nothing left to live for. He points the gun at his head and pulls the trigger. We are transported to the street, where Joel buries the bodies of their newly acquired friends. Ellie places a pendant with the inscription "Forgive" on Sam's grave. Saying goodbye to Henry and Sam, Joel and Ellie continue their journey alone. This concludes episode 5 of the series.